Hello everyone. Today I want to explain the budgeting and budget analysis using advanced Excel. And the most important thing in this session is to make you understand or learn how to prepare a budget, a good model for budgeting using advanced Excel. Budgeting is a critical issue in many organizations, and there has been no clear way or clear models that can help organization to do a good budget analysis. Now, what you see on my screen is the same thing that I'll be explaining on budget and budgetary analysis using advanced Excel. It is a model that is derived purely using advanced Excel. Now, when you look at the screen, you can see from this end, this is the home page. And if I want to navigate to the other areas, I have the budget notes, budget, actual transaction entry, budget analysis, and the dashboard. Now, if I want to move from the home page to the next page, which is the budget notes, I just click this button, which is next page. It will take me to the budget notes. If I want to move to the next one, which is the budget, I click on next page. It will take me to the budget. If I want to move back, I will click the button previous page. It will take me to the previous page, which is the budget note. I will click the previous page to get back to the home page. In case I want to navigate to any of the pages directly, I can click one of the buttons here. For instance, if I want to go to the dashboard, I will click this dashboard button. I click on it. It will take me to the dashboard. And if I want to go back to the home page, I click the home. It will take me home. If I want to navigate to the budget analysis, I just click this one. I will go to the budget analysis. Or again, I can go back home by clicking that button. Now, what I want to do is to explain each of the pages and their functionality in budget and budgetary analysis. The whole thing is made using Excel, and Excel is a very powerful tool in finance and accounting. Now, let me start with the home page. If you look at this, the organization logo is here. We go to the first button, taking us to the next page, and each of the buttons that will take us to each of the pages. Then it is written here that we are on the home page. The other thing that is very important on this page is that we have the currencies. If I want to demonstrate or to display using the Kenya shillings, I click this button. Down here, it remains Kenya shillings. If I want to report using Nigerian currency, which is Naira, I will click this button. It will change here into Naira. Then if I want to use the USD, I click this button, the USD, it will give me the USD. So my budget will be presented in USD. Now let me go back to my currency, the Kenyan currency, which is Kenya shillings. So everything is in Kenya shillings, but we can change from time to time to the other currencies. That is what you get on the home page. Anytime you are in any page and you want to get to the home page, you just click the button home. Now let's go to the budget note, which is a very important step in budgetary process. In your budget line, you indicate all the budget line items and always put the codes. So anytime that you're on this page, it only show you the codes and the budget line items. We start with the revenue items with their respective codes. Then we go to the expenses with their respective codes, all the way to down there, including the capital expenditure. Then we have the button or the line item, the surplus or deficit, with its code. Now I will click on Control Home to be on the first at the start of this page. Now that is all about the line items. In case you want to add a line items, you can insert a row and add at any point that you feel that you want to add a line item. So I want to go to the next page. Click on next page. This one take me to the budget. Now the budget page, this is where we do the presentation of the budget. And I will start with the two buttons. If I want to get to the previous page, I click on this one. If I want to get to the next page, I'll click on this one. If I want to go direct to the home page, I'll click on the home page. For instance, if I click there, it will take me to the home page. If I want to go direct to the budget page, I'll just click here, number 2 button. It will take me to the budget page. Now, having done that, I want to demonstrate from what you can see on my screen. This is the budget presentation. I have explained, it is written here, budget. These buttons I have explained. I want to explain how do I change or how do I select the period of presentation that I want. I want to do my presentation in the month of January. I will come here, select from this drop down. It gives me 1, 2, 3 up to number 19. Now, before I select anything, let me place the cursor on this cell. It tells me the reporting period. Select a number corresponding to the month. That is, which month do I want to report? If I want January, I will select 1 or type 1. If I want February, I will select 2 or type 2. If I want December, I will select 12 or type number 12. The other thing is, we are told to select these numbers for other periods. If I need the budget to present the budget for the whole year, I will select 12. For each of the quarters, either first quarter of the year, number 14, 15 is second quarter, 16 is the third quarter, 17 is the fourth quarter. If I need the budget presentation for the first half, which is the first 6 months of the year, I will select number 18. And if I need the presentation, budget presentation for the second quarter, for the second half of the year, I will type number 19. Let me put number 19 here and enter. You note that these figures have changed. If I need one for January, I put number 1 and enter. These figures have changed, and here it is written January. If I need for the whole year, I will select number 13 and enter. It is written here, annual final budget. In case I want the first quarter, or let me say the second quarter, when I place the cursor there on that cell, it tells me that the second quarter I put number 15. So I can type number 15, enter. Automatically this one changed to the second quarter, and it gives me the budget I prepared for the second quarter. Now, where are these budgets coming from? We write the budget from each transaction and for each month. So what I'll do, I will prepare my budget. The data for January, I will put them in this period. That is January. And anytime that I select one here, it will be putting this data for presentation. The same case will apply for the other months. If I am doing one for the month of February, I will put the data for February, March, all the way. Each month, I will enter data for the budget as I write my budget. After I have done all these, I will get to the last month. Then from there, the data for the number 13, which is annual, it is the sum for each of the months from January to December. So if I want to present this one, instead of coming here, I'm supposed to come and put number 13, and the data you see here for the whole year, is brought here for the presentation. The other thing is that for each of these months, there are the summaries which will be analyzed. The model is made in a way that it will be able to analyze the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter. So this part, you don't need to put anything. Don't put any data from column BC onward. They are formula generated, and that is what we learn when we are learning how to prepare the budget using advanced Excel. Then I'll click home so that to get back to my presentation, and January is the first month. So in simple terms, if I need the last quarter of the year, I put number 19 and enter. It will filter the last half of the year, the second half of the year. That is the budget page. Now I want us to move to the next page. So I will click next page. It will take me to the next page. And this is where we have the actual entries. The entries. Now remember, a budget is prepared, but there are the actual entries as they happen. So this is where we have the actual entry. I can go back home by clicking home. Then if I want to go to the actual entry again, I click actual entry number 3 button. This is where I make the transaction. And I want to explain how to do the transaction. Now let me put the transaction. Let me assume that I am making a transaction for the sales. I select sales. Note that the code has been generated. Now, sales. How do I classify my sales? Sales is a revenue item. So I'll come here and select revenue. Then I will put the amount of the sales that I have generated for each of the months. Let me say that I have generated the sales for January, 1.2 million, like that. I have the sales for the month of April. Let me say that 1.35 million, like that. So these are the actual sales generated in each of the months. So I'm supposed to make the entries that way. Let me make another transaction for an expenditure. For the expenses that I have, I can do I have fuel cost? Yes, I have. Driver salary, I have that one. Let me see, IT services. Okay, let me enter, select. I have incurred the expense for the IT services. Just select there. Note that its code has been generated. Then we have the revenue. This item is an expense item. You will have to select, is it a capital expenditure or an expense, the ordinary expense? So this one, I'll put it. It is IT services expenses. Then I'll put the expense. Let me assume that I incurred 230,000 in the month of February. I incurred another one in the month of April, 106,000, like that. And each of the month as I incur these expenses. So here I have put the actual expenses and the revenue generated as they occur. So to the end of the year, I will have entered all the transactions. Remember, we already prepared a budget. Now, the next thing is to go and compare the budget with the actual expenditure. The budget with the actual expenditure, this is what we call the budget analysis. A good model should give us expenditure or the actual budget and an analysis for the same. So for us to do the analysis, I will click next. I am on the analysis page, budget analysis page, if you look at it from here. Now, these are items that I want to analyze. I can expand this. I can also expand this retro, like that. Now, when you look at these items, I am in a certain page where we have the budget analysis. When you look at column B gives the line item description. These are the respective items as they appear in the budget and they appear in the actual transaction. The column C will give us for the figure from the budget that we prepared. The next column number D, it gives us the actual transaction from our actual entry page. Then column E, it gives us the variance, which is the difference between the budget and the actual. For this one, you don't need to enter anything. The only column that you can make a transaction is B, where you come here and select. Let me select. For instance, we did sales. I will come here and select sales. Automatically, remember in our budget, we did an actual transaction, and here we have the budget transaction. Now, the other thing, we may want to do the transaction. We entered another transaction, and this transaction is what I want us to select. So I'll come and select the item of the expense. Let me say, for instance, I take an expense like the vehicle expenses. Let me take vehicle expenses. I don't have it. Oh yeah, I have maintenance. Vehicle expenses, I select there. So it will give me the amount if there is. If there isn't, it will not give me. I can remove it. Now, this is the entry and the transaction. It gives me the variance. It gives me the percentage variance. Then it gives me a guideline. Should I do an investigation? If the variance is big, it's more than 5%, we carry out an investigation. If the amount is not big, we do not carry out an investigation. That is, if it exceeds 5%, I have set it in a way you will carry out an investigation if the variance is in excess of 5%, plus or minus 5%. Then from there, I will type the report in column H. For each of the investigation that I carry out, I will type the report. Then you are supposed to indicate who did the variance investigation. That is what we call the variance analysis, the budget analysis. It compares the budget with the actual, gives the variance as a figure, gives the variance as a percentage, it gives the conclusion. Then once you have carried out your investigation, you do the report. That is budget analysis page. Now, let me go to the last page. And the last page is what we call, it's actually a summary. And this is the dashboard, the presentation of the result of our budget. So the dashboard here, it has the graph showing the actual expenditure against the budget. But again, this one you can select. If I click here, there is the part of the analysis that will guide me on what do I want to present. For example, if I want only to present the budget, I will have the budget selected. This is the budget presentation on a graph bar. If I want to present the actual expenditure, I will do the actuals only. If I want to present a budget, a graph for the budget and the actual, I will select budget and the actual. That is our budget presentation, our graph presentation. And I have the presentation again on this side. I have the line graphs that are equally similar to what we have seen on the bar. So it is just an explanation of what we would want to present diagrammatically. Now, having done that, I can click home. I will go home. Then let me change the currency. I will change the currency into dollar. And when I'm doing all the presentation, my budget will be in dollar. Now, when you look at these figures, they are in the US dollar. For example, if I select here number 1, like that, this is January, but here we have January. This January is in Kenya shillings, but this one is in dollar. So I can change the currency to show the currency and the transaction for the month of January. Note that this is January. So if I move to the next page, it will give me the transaction. I have the analysis, the summary for January. If I go to the analysis, it will give me the analysis for the month of January. If I want for the whole year, again, I will go and select the whole year, any period that I need for the purpose of budgeting. So when you look at this, it is a budgeting model that has been derived using advanced Excel. This is what we as Chania Finance Consultancy offer. We offer full training course in budget and budget analysis, among the other courses, and which anyone at any time, they can go and log in. If you go to our website, you will see this part of the budget and budget analysis using advanced Excel. Down here, it gives you the charges, the amount of the charges, the date of the training. Then you will come here and click register, where you fill all the data about the course, about yourself, and from there you will be booked for the training. And this is what I needed to demonstrate. And having done that, I am sure that this is a good model, and all our courses are tailored to meet the client needs, the market needs, the global changes in technology needs, and this is what we'll be concentrating with. I am hopeful that you will be joining us for this course as Chania Finance Consultancy. Always get to our website, that is Chania Finance Consultancy, select the category course. If you come here, you select the category course, then you will go select the course. From there, you choose the course that you are interested in. Alternatively, from our website, you can engage us on WhatsApp. You come click on this WhatsApp button. It will take you to our WhatsApp. We can get into engagement and we will guide you. We will assist you to get into what you need for the training. The other thing is that you can drop an email to us. The email on info@chaniafinanceconsultancy.com or training@chaniafinanceconsultancy. Those are our emails. You can drop an email to us. We will respond and help you to join our training courses. You are much welcome to our training. With the many courses that we have, you will be welcome, and we will organize the training, whether it is online or it is physical, at our designated training places, or we can come and offer the training in your country, in your place of work, wherever you are, any organization, globally. We are all over and ready to do the training at the place of work, so that at least we can deliver exactly what the customers want. So thank you so much. I am waiting to see you in our next training.